Hey, Cailen Ascher, founder of Calm Biz here, and I want to talk about something that I think a lot of yogic entrepreneurs encounter, and that is the feeling of just being too exhausted and worn out to work on your business. Now, a lot of us, when we're first starting our businesses, we also have a full or part-time job. We're teaching lots of classes. A lot of us are moms and we have household responsibilities, and there's just so much on our plates that when it comes to thinking about devoting even another hour to working on our businesses, it just feels like too much. So if this is a camp that you find yourself hanging out in sometimes, I want to share with you a 3-step process to help you find the time and also the motivation and the energy to work on your business. So let's get right into it. Like I said, there's 3 steps that I want to share with you. The first one is to replenish. Now, this is so essential. Before you start thinking about how you can put out more energy, you have to think about how you can replenish your energy stocks so that you have that motivation to even devote a little bit more time to doing something else. So how do you do this? I highly recommend taking just 10 minutes a day to do a little bit of self-care. And that can take a number of different forms depending on what works for you and what you have time for in your life. So if you only have 5 or 10 minutes, brew a cup of tea and sit someplace quiet. Meditate, take deep breaths, go for a walk, get outside. That's always really nice. If you have a little bit more time, why not get yourself to a yoga class? I know that always feels so great if I can get myself into the studio and be a student on the mat instead of a teacher. Maybe book yourself a massage or just get out of the house, go to your favorite coffee shop, bring your favorite book along. Read something, a poem, something that motivates you. Do a yoga nidra. There are so many ways that you can start to care for yourself, because before you can care for your business or your family or anything else, you have to keep coming back to that place of self-care. It's really an important thing to consider as part of your life and your business for both things. So now that you've taken some time to replenish, the next thing we want to look at is how can we refocus. Now, a lot of us have this idea that we can get 47 things done in a week's time for our business. But like I said, if you already have a full or part-time job, if you have a family, if you're running a household, if you have responsibilities outside of just building this new business, you really have to refocus about what your top priorities are. So most of us probably have some kind of list, whether it's a physical list or a mental list of all these different things we want to do for our business. So get it down on paper and rank them from your top priority, number 1, maybe getting your website up, if that's a top priority that's been sitting on there for a while, and rank it all the way down through the very last thing, whether you've got 9 items or 99 items, rank them 1 through the last one, number 1 being your top priority. Then take a look at that list. Now, I'm not saying you actually need to do this. If you do, that's awesome. But look at that bottom third of the list. What would it feel like to just eliminate all those items off your to-do list? Chances are those items have been kind of sitting on there for a long time, and there are a lot of things that you feel like you should do rather than things that feel really authentic and things that you want to do for your business. So if you have a lot of things on that bottom third of the list that have just been sitting on there because you think you should do them for your business, what would it be like to cross them off? Maybe cross off the final 5 things and just see how that feels. I guarantee you'll feel like a weight has been lifted, and you'll feel this renewed sense of motivation because you don't have all these tasks that are constantly sitting on the back burner. If you can free up that space mentally and physically on that list, I guarantee you're going to instantly feel better and more motivated to accomplish those top priority tasks. Now, the last thing that we need to look at is how can we recommit? Now, we often get burnt out because we think that on top of our 40-hour work week, we can also devote 20 hours to building our business. Or even if we have a more realistic sense of our time, even if we have 3-5 hours to commit to it, we think we can get 22 things done that are super important in that 1 week's time. We have to take a realistic look at what we can actually do with the time we have available. And that's why it's so important from step number 2, the refocus step, to have that list of priorities. So you know when you do have that time frame, even if it's 2 hours a week, you know what your top priority task is, so you can start chipping away at it. And I guarantee that if you start moving through that priority list from your top priorities downward, and you take a realistic look at your time, there's going to be a sense of ease moving through your business instead of this worried, rushing state that you're probably in when you try to do too much in too little time. So take a realistic look at the amount of hours you have. And there's no right or wrong amount of time. If you have 2 hours, that's fine. If you have 20 hours, that's amazing. And then really be realistic about what you can honestly get accomplished. I highly recommend just focusing on one task a week and then celebrate when you're done with it. Really reward yourself, even if it's just in your mental dialogue, that you accomplished something so worthwhile for your business, and allow yourself to be in that space of celebration and gratitude about your business instead of constantly feeling like you need to play catch up and that you're not doing enough, because I guarantee you, you are doing enough. You have a very, very full life beyond just building your yoga business. And you need to remember that. You are a whole person. You have a full lifestyle to consider, and not all of it can be about building your business. But when you do have that time available, make sure you're using it to its full capacity so that it leaves you feeling really good about the progress you're making week to week and helps you move forward consistently in your business. So as always, I thank you for spending this time with me. And for more business and marketing advice just for yogic entrepreneurs, head on over to calmbiz.com and I will see you there.